up, you guys? I know a while ago I promised to do an updated Q&A video, and I actually did. I really did. And y'all, that video was so long and drawn out. So happened that day I wasn't feeling too well, so you know, I just didn't even like the whole atmosphere of the video. So I ended up deciding to redo the video, and then things got complicating, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to put this on hold. So I decided to take this time today and answer a lot of the questions that many of you had. I would say that protective styles are definitely effective with helping aid growth for the simple fact of low manipulation. So basically, the less you are combing, touching, braiding, pulling, tugging, it's the less likely that you will suffer from damage. Does it grow your hair? I refuse to necessarily say that, because if you have other issues going on with your hair, then sometimes not even protective styling will help. Now with me, from experience, there has been times in my life to where I would wear protective styles for months on end. When I tell you my new growth is like sprouted, and then all of a sudden when I take my hair down, it seemed like it's the same length or barely over what I came out of. One of the reasons why my hair was not retaining length was because of the split ends and damage. I always focus mainly on my scalp and not my ends, and all this time I'm getting all the nourishment I need, but my ends were neglected, so therefore I had so much breakage and split ends. It was crazy. A lot of us really don't understand that our ends are the oldest parts of our hair. As I've stated in the previous video, you don't have to just run and chop your ends off. Now if you feel you want to do that, go for it. Whatever you feel comfortable with. Me, I ain't gonna lie, if I see damage, I'm gonna cut it off. I really don't care how high up or how low. Most of the time, I try to take care of it right then and there, because I do realize that when you snip off little pieces here and there, there's a chance that by the time you snip again within a couple of months, you're going to have to snip off even more, because that damaged hair is still rising upward. So keep in mind that if you are wearing protective styling back to back, but it just seems as if your hair is not growing, you need to check your ends. So we've discussed clipping your ends, but one of the main things that we need to focus on also is what is causing the split ends, what is causing the breakage. And for me, again speaking for myself, one of the reasons why I was suffering from so much breakage and so many split ends is because my hair was like a desert. It was super duper dry. I have low porosity, and because my porosity levels are low, my hair appears to be very shiny and healthy looking. But if you knew the struggle within, you know, it's so hard for my hair to retain moisture. And one of the things that I found out about my hair is my hair needs heat, just a little bit of heat, in order to help with absorbing moisture. Now the way I checked my porosity level was I got a glass of water, a glass of warm water, and my hair was freshly washed, and I took a couple of strands of the shedded hair and sat them in the water, on top of the water, and I just waited for a while, and then I checked. If your hair sinks down to the bottom immediately, you have high porosity hair. If your hair sinks halfway down, then that means that your levels are normal. If your hair stands on top of the water and just floats around and don't budge at all, you like me. We have low porosity. Although there are many things you can do to help retain moisture, I like keeping things simple. What I found works for me is good old-fashioned Carefree Curl Instant Moisturizer Spray and heat. What I usually do is I will spray my scalp saturate it really good, and then I will sit under the dryer for about 5 minutes just to let that heat open my strands up so that that moisture can get in. And then once I've done that, then I will go through and I will seal in the moisture with castor oil. And this is what I've been doing. Very simple. This blow dryer right here has been my best friend this year. Almost every time I moisturize my hair or use any type of products, I usually use my hooded blow dryer. And I would sit under it for maybe just like 5 minutes, just enough to where it's actually opening up my strands. I get asked this a lot, and I'm going to have to go with my hair is very fine. Very fine. A lot of people, I know y'all look at my hair, y'all think it's so thick. But trust me, my hair is super duper fine. Like, my strands are so light and fluffy. A lot of people want to know, what do I use on my edges? Hate to break the news to a lot of y'all, but I use black gel. Sometimes I use some jam, but most of the time I use black gel. Now, I know a lot of people stray away from black gel because they say that it takes your hair out or it dries your hair out, but I've been using black gel all my life as I know it, and I've never had any problem out of black gel. Somebody said they had a small spot in the middle back of their hair that just won't grow, and I must say I was one of them. You know, for some reason this back area right here just was always stubborn. I don't know what was up with that, but ever since my first big chop in my first year or two, it was like everything else grew fine, but that back middle, it was a hot mess. It wasn't just noticeably short, but it was not the same length as the rest of it. Ever since I found out my porosity level and found what works for me, my hair started growing, even back there. I usually try to stay away from too many products because, you know, a lot of times we be using all these products on so many different regimens that have so many different products, when all along it's maybe 1 or 2 things that's been growing your hair out. And I've learned that with my hair. I can't speak for everyone else, but for me, I've realized a long time ago that my hair loves simple. Okay, as of now, the only thing that I'm taking is biotin, and I use the 10,000 mcg, and you take this once a day. So this is what I use, and also iron, and this is 65 mg. I take about 2 of these a day. It says on the back to take it once a day, but I take it twice a day because my iron is really low. My iron has always been low. I want to say thank goodness for Sister with Real Hair. I watched her video a while ago where she was talking about her hair was shedding really bad and she couldn't understand why, and later on come to find out her iron levels were really low, and one of the side effects was hair shedding. I've had low iron ever since I was little. I ain't gonna lie, I hated taking those green pills. Ugh, they were so disgusting. So throughout the years, I just stopped taking them. Only time I take them is when I'm pregnant because my levels are really low then. But other than that, I really didn't understand what high and low iron levels were, so I really didn't care to take the medicine for it, and it took a toll on me. Now, in her video, she was describing a lot of the symptoms that she was having, and I was just watching in awe, because a lot of the things that she called off, it was so me, and I never even knew. I never knew. So once I went ahead and got my iron pills and started taking them, I noticed a change almost immediately. My body knew what I needed, I just didn't know. So that's also probably playing a part in why my hair isn't shedding as much as it used to. I'm going to have to do that in a separate video specifically for that, and I will tell you guys everything that I'm using.